Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay, especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rapidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? Yeah, you bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which could only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rapidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. It's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board, And something called mind records? Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? Why don't you rest a little? Get accustomed to the new reality? Which part of what I just said makes you think I'm not ready to start immediately? Well, in that case, your situation must be critical considering the lengths you went to. Something tells me there's no time to lose. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work. Would you like me to address that?
Those rocks look like they might be passable. Only I had a tool to drill through them.
I'm also Jan, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home.
Cheers. Hey, I built that dormitory you asked for.
Hallelujah.
I hope you sleep well tonight.
I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization.
Sweet dreams, then. About time. I'm in some deep shit here.
So you're not at your destination yet?
I'm stuck. We're stuck. There's a freaking lava river blocking our way.
Do you think you can cross it?
I don't know. Still working on it. Anyway, you can help me?
I can try. I have a limited view of the surface of your planet, but There is one thing you could do.
What's that?
You have a lot of very useful tech on board that base. It's designed to overcome practically any obstacle. All you need is a properly trained crew. If you know what I mean.
More altars. Is that all you have for me?
You still don't get it, do you? That's a lot. If it helps, I have some news for you. Good news and, well, just news.
What's the bad news?
You didn't listen. There's no bad news. First of all, I've been informed that a rescue party is being organized.
Organized. You mean they're not on their way yet? What the hell are you waiting for?
Mr. Dosky, please, calm down. No matter how long the procession, it will always end up in church.
What?
Just the thing my grandma used to say when I was a kid and tired of doing my homework.
Except this is not about your homework.
Sure. But you gotta understand, your mission got dispatched pretty far away. We still haven't mastered teleport.
How long do you think it'll take them to get organized?
All I can say is, they know it's an emergency.
Wow. That long?
Don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm really trying to help.
I thought you were responsible for the navigation system. Isn't it your job to make sure we're safe wherever it sends us?
Well, that's what I'm doing right now, isn't it? Making sure you're safe. Step by step, we'll get your procession safely to church.
So, what's the other news?
Well, I know you have a lot on your plate right now, but there's a request from my boss directly. Before we get you out of there, we want you to retrieve as much rapidium as possible.
Figures. They don't want to lose their chance. Probably worthless to your higher-ups without rapidium anyway.
It's sure gonna give your rescue mission wings, if that's your kind of incentive.
Of course.
My boss will want to speak to you shortly. And you'll see how important it is. He's not some kind of empty three-piece suit, if that's what you're afraid of. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but it was his idea to, you know, let you in on the branching procedure. By the way, is your altar doing any better?
Yeah. We're getting along pretty well now. Thanks.
That's very good to hear.
Is this about you wanting to talk to him again?
No. No, none of that. My boss put it out of my mind. That's not to mess things up even more.
So, you admit it's a mess.
What? No, we just... You know what? I'm not commenting on that. Talk to my boss about it.
What's gonna happen to my altars back on Earth?
I don't know. I'm sure my boss will think of something. He always knows what to do.
You either really trust him or you're very good at not saying anything.
Maybe both? I'm not a natural talker.
Ever tried working on it? You know, with a professional?
Not really. But my sister wanted to be a therapist and she practiced on me when I was 5.
Oh? And how did that go?
She turned to breeding hamsters. I hope you're not laughing.
Your family seems interesting. Got any more stories about them?
It's a big family. Brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles. Yours?
I was the only child.
Wow. Can't imagine how that feels. Anyway, no time to talk about families now, right?
Tell me more about this boss of yours. You mention him a lot.
He's the head of mining operations. Great mind, very open. You'll see. Doesn't normally do this, you know. Talk to people on space missions in person.
Oh, I feel so blessed.
You should. He saved your life, in a way.
Okay. I better get back to work then.
Yes. Just remember about the RAPIDIUM, Mr. Dulski. And wait for contact from my boss.
So much stuff you need to take on exploration. Batteries, drills, detectors, and all that preparation must...
So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That's slow enough for you? No way I'm dropping the booze. Don't you ever have fun? Oh, I do have fun. When I'm celebrating success. A situation that you're probably not familiar with. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. So what exactly was your research about? Nanotech in space exploration. We went from a humble startup to making headlines in a few months. Taking our solutions to the front line was my dream come true. The data we could bring back. You had big plans for it. Well, now it's all gone. Yeah, I understand how lousy that must feel. Honestly, I don't think you do. But I hope we're not going to sit around crying about it. There's work to be done, here and now. That's true. Well, let's get to it then.
Man, I'm telling you, we need it.
And I'm telling you, this is the least important of our priorities. You've got to be kidding me.
This is not good. We are surrounded. Damn it. So much for Plan B.
Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Oh, interesting. A motivational hoodie. Motivational? More like demotivational. I only kept it because it's really comfy. Of course you did. It doesn't remind you of all that determination and ambition that fueled my academic success. Anyway, thanks. I appreciate it.
Keeping busy, I
What
hope.
are you up to, little rascal? beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is fast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it. Holy shit. What now? I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve? So now I'm smart, huh? Still, even I might not be enough. But a smarter version of us? Yeah, he could do the trick. The scientist. We could look for a solution in that research lab you built. Okay, let's give it a go.
Done. Should I take care of this now?
What's up?
Hey man, you're clearly angry.
Meaningless small talk will only make me more angry.
So maybe we can talk about something meaningful. What calms you down?
Punching that smirk of yours would definitely do the trick.
But if you really need to know, walking it off, I guess. Easy to maintain, aren't you?
That's me. Simple life, simple needs.
Podolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They are grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found Rapidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Limited circle, huh? Bullshit. The public has a right to know about such things.
I like your passion, Jan. You're an honest man. But you're under enough pressure already. We don't need the media to go berserk or the stock market to overreact. We don't need chaos down here while all our efforts should concentrate on supporting you up there. Your task is difficult enough, and failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the Rapidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both Rapidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate Rapidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now. Constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, Maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dulski.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. Thanks.
Of course, I would lie to you if I said your work is done. You've probably noticed how different Rapidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
How come it works then?
Not enough tests were run to explain that. The only sample ever found in space was researched inside a mobile base like your own, but it never made it back to Earth. It lasted long enough to demonstrate its amazing qualities, only to disintegrate somewhere between the Copernicus and the Hyades cluster.
So, you're afraid the Rapidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An ARK.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting Rapidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a Rapidium ARK should be your primary focus now.
Listen, you're very convincing, but I'm afraid I just won't have the time to do it. I need to find a way forward before the sun comes up.
You're losing faith easily. Look how far you've come. You survived the landing. You found Rapidium. Then you branched yourself and managed to get the base moving. Would you really be happy with yourself if it all went to waste?
Waste? Wow. Is that what you consider saving my life?
Your life, my life. Let's face it. All it is a predetermined string of events, distorted with myriads of random, meaningless decisions. We spend centuries looking for some kind of sense in it, some kind of meaningful pattern or recipe. Still, no satisfactory answer comes. Until, once in hundreds, maybe thousands of years, a chance appears to make a leap in our understanding of reality.
What can I say?
I don't know. But whatever you make of it, let me bare my soul to you. I think these are rare moments that matter. So, enough talking. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
The branching procedure. There's a story there. Tell me.
It is something that has been tested long ago within Ally Corp. But for completely different reasons and, as you can imagine, in a much more rudimentary fashion.
Altering mind records? For whom?
I'm sorry, Jan. It's highly classified and I already told you too much. I think you deserve answers, but regarding this matter, like I said, things were tested just for a while. Not much came of it. Now, I'd love to keep on chatting, but I really will need to be ending this call soon. Do you have any more questions?
What will happen to my alters when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here, but I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, It's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the altars.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
We will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch. I don't have any hard proof to support it.
What is it?
Well, I think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
No. I'm good.
Rapidium ARK, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with the remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
you know we're running out of radiation filters?
I can't wait.
Hey, man. You alright?
All right? Hell no. Feel like I'm fucking dying. Oh, shit. That's it then. I'm dead already.
Not yet, brother, not yet.
Damn it. Yet another disappointment.
You're on strong sedatives.
This is one strange dream.
Why don't we give you a mental checkup first, okay?
Yeah. That's what they always say before they break the bad news to you. Shoot.
What's your name?
My name is Jan Dolsky, but I'm seeing fucking double. You should worry about that.
We'll get there. Just fill me in on your role on this mission.
Well, I used to be a miner, but then I lost my hand in an accident. Hey, wait a minute. What the fuck is this? My fucking arm. It's there again. Okay, I'm done with your little survey. Tell me what's going on. What have you done to my body?
I fixed it for you.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Jan Dolsky. I got stranded on a desolate planet where I found rapidium, so I used it to make you my copy.
What the fuck did you drug me with, man? Oh, this is insane. What a trip.
It's not a trip. It's reality. Your new reality.
Oh, yeah? Well, in that case, Mr. Dolsky, would you be kind enough to tell me why your body's so damn intact? Because if you really are who you claim to be, both of us should be short an arm.
That's smart. We're not exact copies. We only share the same DNA. Our minds and memories are different.
Okay. I knew it was a fucking mistake the moment I signed up for this goddamn mission. Oh, man. You want to know what's most cruel about what you did?
I don't know. Tell me.
Keeping all that shit I went through in my head. Now that, my brother, is cruelty.
Look, you obviously had a complicated life, so why don't we try to look ahead now?
To what?
Working hard to get us out of this mess. I won't lie to you, I'm really gonna need your help. Right now, why don't you just kick back and take some time to get used to your new self?
All right. I guess I can do that.
Go through the mission logs. They should clear a lot of things up for you.
Okay.
Yeah, would you mind checking our food supply?
So much stuff you need to take on exploration. Batteries, drills, detectors. And all that preparation must feel like a second job.
done here. Should I do this now?
To the Saber evacuation. To the Saber evacuation.
Hey, man. We're running out of storage space.
To the Saber evacuation.
Hello, Jan. So, did you find a solution to our problem? Yes, it's super simple. We'll build a bridge. Oh, just like that? Well, it can't be a regular bridge, of course. We don't have the time nor the manpower to accomplish that. However, there is a certain technology that came to my mind, superconductive bridge anchors. They could allow us to quickly span a light but durable construction across our obstacle. That doesn't sound super simple to me. Don't you worry your pretty head about it. Remember, you have me on board. There is one small thing, though. Oh, here we go. Cut out the sarcasm. It's not my fault this excursion was prepared by a dilettante. Blueprints for the anchors should be standard equipage for every mission since Project Versant went live. But not on this one. They should fire the logistician, if there ever was one. Versant? Versatile Synthetics program. One of my undergraduate students went to work for them. Had some impressive achievements, including designing bridge anchors for heavy exploration equipment. You'd think it would be obvious, but no. Stop moaning, will you? Just tell me what to do. You're right. Let's act. You are in touch with mining operations, right? Yeah, I am. Why? Next time you talk to someone from mining ops, tell them to send over the anchor blueprints from Versant. Once we have them, things will go back to super simple. You'll see. All right, will do. Hi there. You doing all right?
I don't know. All right, I guess, but still trying to find sense in this plot twist.
You're dealing with it really well. Great job.
Huh. Long time since I heard those two words put together. But yeah, focusing on the work helps me keep my demons at bay.
Just don't push yourself. You don't need to prove anything.
Really? That's hard when everybody takes you for a useless loser.
You're anything but useless. We really need your mining skills here.
Wow. That's new. But is it really me you need? I mean, with this change, am I still the same person I was?
It's simple. You're a new person. Your past doesn't exist.
That sounds good.
Don't worry about it too much.
No. I'll try.
If we don't get the base moving soon, the sun will get to us. And believe me, this tin can will offer zero protection.
I'm not getting any connection from mining ops. Any idea how I can ask them for those blueprints? Didn't they push you to mine Rapidium? Report getting the job done, and someone will turn up. Trust me, I know how this company works. Okay, thanks.
Before you have all the important equipment.
got a minute? We need to talk.
I'm done here. Should I do this now? I'm done here. Should I do this now?
You again.
Would you mind checking our food supply?
talk. Busy, huh?
That's ridiculously amusing.
You better watch your mouth, asshole. You wanted to talk? No, we're not talking. I'm talking. I'm done listening to your empty promises, like the one about getting us better food. What was that about? Just another valuable discussion with our most charming alter, who wanted life and feels sorry for us pathetic losers. Details, please. Do I really need to go through that again? That asshole attacked me for using Mom as an excuse for not pursuing my ambitions. Seems to me he's the one looking for excuses. You're more alike than you think. Yeah, dude, I know. We share a face. It's more than that. You're both proud and stubborn. You feel like you have something to prove to each other, but you don't. Not with those sharp minds and tongues. Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying you'll be friends, but you could try to find common ground. Fine. Maybe we'll bond over analyzing your shortcomings.
You do know we're running out of radiation filters?
All done. Should I take care of this now? Shit. What the hell was that? Damn it. We don't have enough radiation filters. Command room's down. What next? talk about something? Yeah.
What is it?
I need something to, keep me going. I feel like shit.
What do you mean?
The arm that I lost in an accident. It's weird, but it hurts. I mean, fuck, it hurts.
But your arm's there, and it looks fine.
I know it's fucked up, but so is everything else here. This arm is yours, not mine. I'm not some kind of wimp, so if I say it hurts, it really fucking hurts, alright?
I don't know. This doesn't make much sense.
Of course it doesn't. None of it makes sense. And there's only one way to deal with it, Numb the son of a bitch.
What are you talking about?
Painkillers, what else? Tramadol, hydrocodone, codeine, or that shit you doped me with before. That should do the trick.
Okay, I get it. I could give you some more.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just don't go too heavy on it. Could be addictive.
Like I don't know that. I hit rock bottom in my life more than once. But I ain't going back down there. I learned my lessons, don't you worry your ugly ass. What were you arguing about?
Nothing. He's just oversensitive and can't handle a little bit of constructive feedback. Tell me more, please. What's there to tell? He cowers behind the mask of a hero who sacrificed his chance to get a proper education to stay with his mother, and he tries to judge me for doing the opposite.
I regret asking.
Argue all you like, as long as I don't have to know about it. Well, Jan, nobody invited you to participate in this discussion.
Hey, man. Can we talk?
It's over. We made it. You do know we're running out of radiation filters? Wanted to talk?
Yeah, the magnetic storm. Quite a ride, huh? Tell me about it. Glad we're out of it. For good, I hope. Hope is the mother of fools. If you ask me, it looks like recurring magnetic storms might be a thing around here. We should think about how to prepare in case another one hits us. Any ideas? Actually, yes. Tell me. Well, it's pretty obvious that during emergencies, the base relies heavily on existing supplies, right? Right? That means we could use a smarter way to manage our production, to make sure we have a stable backup of all the crucial stuff. That would be nice. Well, listen to this. I found something in the manuals. The procedure we could set up. It's called Uphold Production. It lets you choose any item you want to produce. Let's say a radiation filter, and establish the amount of it you always want to have at the ready. Whenever you have less items on stock than you need, new ones will be queued for production automatically. Just like that.
Huh. That sounds like it could spare us a lot of micromanagement.
Exactly. Try it out and maybe we won't die because someone forgot to make mush. What's up? How are you?
I heard you had an accident. What happened?
What?
Oh, it's nothing. Just a scratch. Shit happens, eh? Part of the job. Well, glad nobody got hurt. You were lucky there. Yeah. Don't you worry your ugly ass about it. I'm like invincible. Still, I think this is a wake-up call. I'm taking you off the meds.
What? No.
Trust me, it's for the best.
Fuck you. I refuse to work without them. You have no idea what it means to be in this pain.
Okay, just be extra careful next time. We can't afford to lose you. Jeez, I'm not a baby. I've spent my whole damn life working in high-risk environments. I'm always extra careful.
It's triggering the alert in my suit. I need to learn more about this thing. heard you had another accident. Are you okay?
Don't worry, I'm fine. It's fine. It's not because of the painkillers, I swear.
Okay, I believe you. But please, please be more careful next time.
Of course. Promise.
Disable evacuation functionality then.
rid of you. What's up?
I can see that you're angry. Just leave me alone. Come on, let me help. What do you usually do when you feel like this?
I don't know. Go to a bar, I guess. Nothing better than a bottle of cheap, lukewarm beer, am I right?
If you work hard, you gotta party hard, right?
You know it.
Hello, Dulski here.
Jan, tell me you did it. Tell me you have the ARK.
I did it.
Well done. Now, all we need to do is bring it home safely. Are you making progress with that obstacle of yours?
I'm still looking for a way out.
Oh, I don't want to cause panic, but you better hurry.
And how's my rescue team progressing?
They'll be on time, Jan. Just make sure you are. Do what it takes to make your way to the other side of the planet, and leave the rest to me.
Would have gone way faster if I didn't have to build that damn ARK for you.
Do you really think it's just a whim for me?
I don't know, but I don't want to die for a dream. I told you, I'm no hero.
You seem to value your life a lot, Jan. Have you thought about how much it's really worth?
Well,
Imagine coming back without Rapidium and having to face the thought, what if I hadn't given up? Would you live with yourself while the world would deteriorate before your eyes? All because you put your sorry ass first.
all right, point taken. I'm gonna need your help.
What can I do for you?
I need blueprints for superconductive bridge anchors from Project Versant.
Versant? But how do you know about that?
I'm smarter than you think, Maxwell.
Well, you're familiar with aborted scientific programs unknown to the public.
Aborted? Are you sure?
Yes. Project Versant was terminated years ago due to lack of satisfactory results.
But didn't they come up with some tech useful for mining missions?
No. How would you even know what they were unless an alternate version of you was somehow involved in it? Is it possible that someone from your crew remembers a non-existing technology? That's amazing, Jan. You do understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. He did mention an undergraduate student of his who went to work for the program.
The proverbial flap of the butterfly's wings. It must feel incredible to realize such a universe-bending potential in your life path.
I'm hearing is that you don't have my blueprints.
No, I'm sorry. They simply don't exist. But there is still something we can do.
What's that?
I have an idea. It's a long shot, but it might be all we have. Project Versen did leave behind unfinished drafts. Crisscrossed formulae, discarded calculations, the usual scribbles of a scientific stream of consciousness at work. For what it's worth, I'll ask Lucas to send it over to your terminal. Maybe that resourceful alter of yours can put it to good use.
Oh, okay. It's better than nothing, I guess.
I have to say, Jan, I'm beginning to see more and more potential in this situation of yours. I hope we speak soon. Good luck, as always.
Got a riddle for you.
So, I have news about the Anchor blueprints you asked for?
I certainly hope so, because I just saw something come in from mining ops, and it looks like a bad joke. Did you precisely ask for bridge anchor blueprints? Of course I did, but this is all that bunch of amateurs was able to give us. Random odds and ends of unfinished research? I find that hard to believe. This looks more like the musings of a madman than serious work. No. Give me the real thing. I'm not touching this parody of a prototype. Well, you'll have to give it all you've got, because you're not getting anything else. So get to work now, or we're all screwed. I found something peculiar on the planet. What exactly was peculiar about it? Everything. It was like a local distortion of reality. And it seemed to be emitting strong radiation. Yes. We could have expected to come across something like that sooner or later, according to reports from previous missions. Unidentified sources of radiation, unexplained electromagnetic field anomalies, distortions of matter, space, or even gravity. What are they? According to a bold theory fleshed out by Professor Frankov, they may be instances of the so-called INTERAL. The what? INTERAL. In very simple terms, it's a non-coincidental superposition of potential universes. We don't know exactly why it occurs, but observations prove that under certain, not yet specified conditions, two or more parallel landscapes can coexist within a common quantum field, creating a so-called proximity plane. Yeah, it felt like something was materializing from out of nowhere right in front of my eyes. Let's keep our heads cool. It's just a theory. No one's ever proved it right. If, and I stress if, Professor Frankov's intuition is right, then the distortion you have encountered could have been a puncture point, the spot where the proximity plane intersects with our observed universe, subverting its physical balance and distorting the rules of Newtonian mechanics. We need to learn more about these peculiarities. Inform me at once if you come across another one.
To the saber evacuation functionality then.
Hey, man.